So in here we've got the latest model from one of the most stylish watch brands, Nezumi. Now they're based out of Sweden, and I have featured them before on the Ben's Watch Club channel. Here is an example. This is definitely my favorite model of theirs, the Tonnerre chronograph. Really cool, unique looking little piece. Nice distinctive turquoise subdials. Love the sort of racing vibe this brand has going on. But in here is supposedly a much newer model, an updated version of the Aviera GMT. I think that's how to say it. Aviera, something like that. But yeah, this newer model has got some minor changes. So let's get it cracked open and see what it looks like and see how it performs. Cool, so it looks like they've shipped an array of straps with this one. Now, I'm not sure if this is just with the review unit so that I can, take a look at each type of strap that's available with the watch, or if you get one or so of these, you'll have to check on the webpage when you order. But yeah, let's take a closer look. And very swanky. Now, this retro style branding really is one of the big strengths of this brand. They do such a good job. This looks really like some sort of motorsports component from the 1950s or 60s or 70s or something. Bright and sleek. And look, it even opens with the smoothness of an Apple phone. Very, very nice. But inside, there is a little leatherette container. Now, from the stock images, I can't see this being as good looking as the last one. But again, I have to say, it maybe looks slightly better in person. I know that's something I say a lot. I think it's really because a lot of cameras, they just can't quite capture what a watch looks like super accurately. And their branding can be quite like moody and stuff like that, which results in darker lighting. But yeah, the watch is smaller than I expected too. You got obviously the pilot inspired design, the fixed GMT bezel, and the blue actually isn't a million miles off the turquoise used on that previous model, the background dial. Now, the primary change with this watch compared to the previous version of the Aviera, I believe, is the movement from the looks of the webpage. This one's now using the Miyota caliber 9075, which if we wind the watch properly after we remove the screw down crown, you'll see it's got a nice, pretty smooth action with the second hand. 28,800 beats per hour with a power sub of 42 hours. This one's also the true Traveler's GMT movement, as you can see. This model, I'm not sure if this applies to the previous version of the Aviera, but the designer said that he came up with this one many years ago, but there just wasn't many viable movements to put inside it at the time. At least nothing that would keep the cost down to a reasonable level. But with the recent release of all these GMT movements, these sorts of watches are now possible, as you may have seen from just the sheer amount of GMT watches I've been featuring recently. But yeah, the case finishing very similar to the Tonnerre. It's got the same like Omega inspired lugs. You can see they have that same inner curvature, but the strap is something I haven't really come across before. It's actually very flexible. Feels super comfortable, and perhaps the most flexible textured rubber strap I've come across. It. Not quite sure how to explain it. I wonder if this is like really close to natural rubber or something, especially with the colour. Almost feels kind of half foam to an extent, but not in a bad way. Just how it kind of holds its shape briefly. It's unusual. Let's check the sizing and then, run through the rest of the specs and that. So this is the blue version. It also comes in an even more legible black option as well. 316L steel case. As I mentioned before, it has that screw-down crown and a screwed rear too with the nice embedded logo. I've always liked this, how they do the case backs from the Nezumi. Here's how it compares to the previous one. I think the new one actually looks better. But yeah, this model has an advertised 200 meters of water resistance, which is pretty cool. Sapphire crystal, so you aren't really missing out on any specs there. And like the other one, it is also domed again, as you can see here. 20mm lug width if you did want to change that out. X1 Super Luminova, we'll give that a test later too. And let's see if the sizing is accurate. 40 millimeters across the width exactly. Now the look to look is what looks really short actually. Let's have a see. That's not that short, it's about 47 millimeters. But it certainly looks shorter. I think perhaps because the bezel has a slight overhang, as you can see here. The watch actually doesn't look that big. Thickness of 13.8 with the crystal, and then without it, it's something more like about 12, maybe a bit less actually, maybe about 11.7. Here it is on my skinny little arm. So this is a 6¼ inch wrist for context, and yeah, it actually in real life, again, I need to raise this camera up a tiny bit more, but it looks a tiny bit smaller, I'd say, than that. It looks more like a 39.5, maybe 39 millimeter watch. And it's not a million miles off fitting me. One thing, I really like the strap. I have to say, the way that the strap perfectly matches the hands is something I haven't quite seen committed to before. And it works. I mean, I would never pick a light cream strap like this off the shelf if I was asked to choose. But no, it really works. This one's assembled in Germany and it starts at a price of €520, which I think converts to about 440-ish Great British pounds. But before we go, let's definitely give that lume a check. According to the web listings, it's this like enhanced legibility that was really the main driving force behind the watch. And obviously the lume is going to be a part of that. So I've got it next to a couple of watches that I just happen to have on hand here, which is a Tritium Marathon and then just a Casio Edifice that I recently reviewed. There you go, you got 3 different colours there. Oh yeah, it is, as you would imagine, given the higher price than the Casio in particular, and given the left one is Tritium, it is significantly brighter, significantly. X1 isn't one I've encountered a great deal before because it's normally the typical BGW9 or like the C3 luminescence that you find on the lower end watches. So yeah, great lume and most of the specs that you'd want. I guess it's a matter with this one of, do you like the look enough, because there's, you know, a huge amount of competition at the moment in this space. But yeah, I'll affiliate link this watch in the video description if you want to check it out. And I'll also link the chrono there too on their site because that's a really cool watch. Let me know what you think. I've got a feeling that this one might be quite divisive. I think you're either going to really quite like it or really not like it. But hey, that's better than a neutral response in the watch industry, definitely.